Come and meet those dancing feet. Hey, come on in. You're here on a great day.
Make sure you've got your towels, because we're off to see the mice today with Barrister and Mann.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
We are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, y'all, come on in. Thank you for finding our little barbershop. If you happen to be here during one of the live premieres on YouTube, why, come on in the live chat. Meet the Whiff Pack, a cool group of friends hanging out from all over the world. They'd love to meet you, too.
They would. And for our mention today, speaking of our Whiff Pack, one of our members, Doug Lane, sent us this over. It's called Hydrating Milky Toner from Thayer's, and it's made with snow mushroom and hyaluronic acid.
Y'all, let me show you how this works. It's a little bit thinner than like a star jelly, but it is made for moisturization. It's not exactly a shaving product. It's just kind of meant to be a general moisturizer. But y'all, it goes on super slick, and in about 30 seconds, it dries to a non-sticky, beautiful, moisturized feel, and it doesn't interfere with the sense of my aftershaves. So as soon as the aftershave dries down, this goes on and I am ready for the day. I haven't shaved without this since he sent it. Thank you, buddy. This is amazing stuff. And what is our soap today?
Our soap today is 42, and we had to go do some homework and watch The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy to learn what that was about.
That's a weird movie, y'all. Let's meet the soap. So y'all, like me, if you were a child of the 70s and you grew up spending a lot of time in the local library, this was a book that would have crossed your path. It's called The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams, and it was not originally a novel. It was originally a radio play on the BBC. This is unlike anything else I've ever seen in my life. It's almost like not even a story. It's almost like a giant inside joke. A way to step outside the box of our normal paradigms and look at our lives, our structures, our constructs, and our mental processes in a new way. And from the sales page at Barrister and Mann.
Don't panic. The streaming consciousness of the whale. Another thing that nobody made too much fuss about was that, against all probability, a sperm whale had suddenly been called into existence some miles above the surface of an alien planet. And since this is not a naturally tenable position for a whale, this innocent creature had very little time to come to terms with its identity as a whale before it had to come to terms with suddenly not being a whale anymore.
What's happening? Excuse me. Why? Where am I? Why am I here? What's my purpose in life? By that, I mean, who am I? Calm down, get a grip. Oh, this is an interesting sensation. It's sort of yawning, tingling sensation in my, well, I better start finding names for things. So let's call this my stomach. So a yawning, tingling sensation in my stomach, and that whistling, whirring around. Can that be wind? Perhaps I can find a better name for it later. Hey, this is a thing. Let's call this a tail. And hey, I can really thrash it around pretty good, but wow, it doesn't seem to achieve much, but I'll probably figure that out later on. And hey, this is really exciting. So much to find out about, so much to look forward to. I'm dizzy with anticipation. And what is this thing suddenly coming toward me very fast, very, very fast, and big, and flat, and wide? It needs to be a big sounding word, like round, ground. That's it, ground. I wonder if it will be friends with me. Curiously, the only thing that went through the mind of the bowl of petunias as it fell was, oh no, not again.
For Towel Day, May 25th, Sunday, tomorrow, the commemoration of Douglas Adams' authorship of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Barrister and Mann presents our tribute to this brilliant work, 42, a soap that smells of petunias, ambergris, because of whales, tea, and pan-galactic gargle blaster, or lemon sugar. Grab a copy of the guide, a cup of tea, and your shaving brush. It's going to be a hell of a ride.
Y'all, this is brilliant, because I was wondering, is this going to be like an all-encompassing scent of that story, or is this going to be more like a zoomed-in moment or a character? And they've done both. They've got the cup of tea to represent the main character, and then the scene that they're going with is the whale scene!
Hello, ground!
Petunias, ambergris, and blood. No, I'm kidding.
We do know that Will at Barrister and Mann is very good at putting sense to stories that authors have written, because we've done What's It's, that's Dr. Seuss. We did Midnight Special, that was kind of like a Star Wars desert theme.
And Melange from Dune. Are you kidding me? As I sit here, that is exactly what that spice smells like. I used it last night, coincidentally.
And now, maybe the most iconic with Douglas Adams. Let's open the box.
We have not opened this yet because we have been waiting to watch the movie first, and apparently over the last year, we've had very little time because we are now just getting to this box that we bought a year ago. And y'all, this is how they come from Barrister and Mann. Packaging and presentation is so important, and it's always so beautiful and elegant when it gets here from Will and his mom, Paula. Look at that label, y'all. What were those called?
Vogon.
Right, and don't ask him for any poetry before we have our first impression. Maybe it's just me, but I love it when an artisan puts a little protective plastic seal around your soap that you have to open so you know yours is the first schnoz that's getting on this thing. And I want yours to be the first schnoz to get on this thing. Tell me what you find. Here we go. Take it in. Show the folks that smooth Barrister and Mann pull.
All right, y'all. Here we go.
There it all. Beautiful. He recently posted a short of him filling those out of his container. Very cool. All right.
This is kind of potent.
Okay,
I already got a little whip.
Here we go.
Okay. Whew. Okay, it's super fun. I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad we watched the movie so that we could get to this point to understand the whiff that's happening here. Okay, I know it mentioned the lemon sugar.
Yes.
I'm getting a citrus, but almost... Okay, how do you make your country lemonade? It has the lemon peel.
Oleo saccharum.
That.
You peel the lemon like a potato and you let it sit in the sugar overnight. The sugar draws the oil out of the lemon peel. You're getting oleo saccharum in there?
I am. Not as sweet. Like, we didn't make the lemonade portion yet,
Right.
but just like when you're kind of putting that through the strainer, it's that. Something happened to the lemon.
It's a supernatural smell. Well, supernatural.
I'll be honest, I don't know if I would have known that it was a tea that's in here, but I for sure am getting like an herb and a spice. So they're having magical moments here.
I was kind of hoping this would not be tea forward because the petunia, the ambergris, the other stuff going on in here was a little bit exciting. And I love that, of course, he made it smell like a sperm whale. Do you get the ambergris in there?
Okay, I do, only because it adds like a weird dry depth to this. Like almost when they land on that one planet with the thing slapping them in the face, I feel like that area could smell like this somehow.
Right.
And then it must be the petunias, because there's something in here that you know you like, but you aren't as familiar with it as you thought you would be. Like, it's like, I think I know it, but then I think I don't know it. So I think it's somehow how the petunias laying in there. I do kind of get an odd, like, springtime of year. So it's kind of cool that we're opening it now. I know Tallow Day is pretty close, but I do feel like this is the time of year that I'd want to open it.
Right.
It kind of gives me a vibe of opening the Midnight Special one.
Oh,
Not as sweet, but like a place on a different planet that I've never been before. Somehow he's captured that. Maybe even like the Dune one too. Like, there is something that you just feel like you're in someone else's world. And that's this.
Those are the two most transportive soaps in our collection. Our godson, Nando, of Barbershop Duet fame, favorite movie, Star Wars. And when he smelled that one, he just looked at me and went, how did they do that? Same thing for me. And Dune, like, how were you able to pluck that smell from my imagination? When I shaved with that the other night, I was not on this planet. It was amazing. And just the way it's not novelty under the surface of both of those is so much swirling around. How much floral do you get in this? Is it floral centered?
Well, okay, if I hadn't read Petunia, I don't know if I would have gotten right away. I think I almost would have gotten more like an orange blossom. I think the citrus was leading me somewhere else, but I knew it was prettier than just a normal citrus.
Well, your mom and my mom had petunias in common because mine had them everywhere. And when we went over to your house the other day for dinner, I was like, there, those are all petunias. It's a beautiful, super sweet, and almost gourmandy floral. If I could pick any floral in the world that I think could be a gourmand, I think it's the petunia. And I'm excited because we have some peony ones and we have lots of rose ones, but nothing petunia yet. Can you smell purple and yellow?
It's funny. My brain gets those colors, but then it's like there's a different filter over it.
Right.
You know, like how when you can take a picture on Instagram and swipe through and find the different filters, it's kind of like we're in a filter of somewhere else. Like it's kind of the upside down world or the inside out version of what those are. Right. I don't know how that's coming across, but it's in here. And I could easily just be in my robe having tea with the window open, smelling petunias outside. Like, there's something real about it, but it's also kind of not. And I think that's the ambergris side coming through.
Right.
Something in there is just adding that little off-kilterness in a fun way, not in like pulling the scent dark or deep or anything.
Right.
Like, I know when you read and hear what ambergris is, you're like, how can that smell good? But let me tell you, friends, something in here, it's almost like a peppery spice kind of version.
Ambergris? Y'all, I was watching some marine biologists who claim that the ambergris can't actually escape the whale on its own. The whale kind of has to die and blow up or be falling toward the ground and hit at a terminal velocity like in the story. Ambergris everywhere. It's like a piñata.
But if it smells like this, I want to go to that party.
Of course, there's ambergris in it. That is the kind of humor that Douglas Adams wrote into the original story, so Will clearly has a stranglehold on that. Y'all, I am ready to be whisked away. Let me see what I get from this little beauty. All right, here we go. Taking it in the shaking clam.
Right?
Whoa! Hold on. Again, Will, how do you do this? This isn't just suggesting some petunias and some ambergris. This is the smell of a different planet.
Yeah.
And not one that's pokey, not one that's like, oh, I don't know if I really want to be here. No, one that's welcoming, one that's hospitable, and one that is not Earth by any stretch of the imagination. There are florals around, but again, they are so beautiful and candied and gourmandy that is part of what's so welcoming and giving me the sense of a warm sunrise. This is a super welcoming, comforting place, despite what the residents look like. And y'all, it's not the ambergris being offset by the petunias. It's the petunias then being offset by the ambergris. They are giving it a hug. They are putting it in a jacket that gives it a little bit of an otherworldly feel while still being very familiar and comforting on the inside, which is the same feeling I get when I read the story. Wow. The most soapy Barrister and Mann soap I have yet to find, and I adore that lane of soaps. Y'all, this is like meeting a really interesting author in a beautiful tweed suit, but then he's wearing yellow Converse. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's just something about him where you're like, wait, there's a twist to this. There's a bend to this. There is something where you are trying to make me laugh, aren't you?
The character side comes through somehow.
Right. Something absolutely outside of the ordinary, and yet something so whimsical and inviting you can't look away and you want to join their circus. That's what this is. Well, I am so glad that you are bringing this one back out this year. This one needs to be in our collection.
People had asked about it last year, and we were like, oh, we just got it, but we missed Towel Day. We're going to be doing it soon. So the rumors are out there, and they are accurate, my friends.
And look at my face. I love that the spine for this, for me, is floral. But when my nose dives in, it first meets the floral as a gourmand, and then it starts climbing up the ladder, and it's assuming that at the top, it's going to find the floral in its floral state. But it doesn't. It's petunia all the way up. But when it gets to the top, it just finds more candy. It finds more sweet. It finds more rockiness. It's almost like it's a floral masquerading as 9 other things, but it's definitively floral in the middle.
Right.
And y'all, the colors of petunias should tell you something about how nature feels about them. They're sort of the floral version of fireworks, at least in my mother's garden. And combinations of 2 colors in those petunias that come together in new ways that nature has never figured out before. And that's what's happening here for me with the ambergris and the petunia. The way they're coming together is like looking at that petunia that's hot pink and yellow and going, I don't know how nature figured out to put those 2 colors together, but I'm loving that.
Like when you look at a petunia, you want to almost grab it and rub it. Like there's something soft and fuzzy about it. Like it's just so inviting. And I feel like that scent is somehow in there.
And you know, that candied floral might be too sweet, might be too gourmandy without the ambergris, without the other woods, without the other spices that are surrounding this. What a gem of a soap this is. And y'all, if you want to see an industry standard lather and hear some crazy scent notes, come along with us. We're going to put our thumbs out. All right, y'all, back to the sales page at barristerandmann.com. I even forgot about the tea. Here are your scent notes.
Smells of petunias, ambergris, tea, and pan-galactic gargle blaster, or lemon sugar.
Okay, hold on. Let's start at the beginning. Petunias and ambergris. Beautiful. The two amigos in here, the yin-yang playing back and forth. How much stronger do you get those two than the other two scent notes?
That's a good question. I do think they're in the forefront. I think those two together, it's kind of like the vibrancy of each of them bounce off of each other. But you do need the spices of the tea. And I think because he's English, there's usually a little lactonic or a little something in the tea, too.
And I have a theory.
Yeah?
Smell this.
Okay.
I don't think it's a black tea. I don't think it's an Earl Grey. I think we're dealing with a little chai in here, which is what is making this magical. That hint of chai spices and cinnamon at the very bottom at like 5 to 10%. That's it. But what a stage for the petunias and ambergris to be dancing on. Do you smell that, or am I crazy?
I think I get more of like an Earl Grey, but I do want to put my flag in the lactonic being in the tea.
Gotcha.
Because I think that's changing the herbs. And I think if you mix the ambergris with the tea, it creates a sweeter, gingery kind of vibe.
Right. So we're going to leave it to you to decide which of us is right. If this is a chai tea, please put that in the comments. And if you're wrong and this is an Earl Grey tea, put that in the comments. If you are here during the live, we will do a little survey right now to see which one of us is absolutely right.
So lemon sugar.
Right, let's talk
I think
about
I'm
this.
going to throw it into more of what we were talking about earlier. They are not just straight up a lemon and sugar.
No.
It's like a lemon scrub or that oleosaccharum that happens. There's something that's happened to the peels.
Right. And the part of the lemon that is the tart part, the part that tickles your nose, is the part that's been turned down in here. I'm getting the lemon as almost a floral, kind of in the periphery of my vision, but it's like the sugar part. So remember when we got that honey sugar and you smell it? It doesn't really smell like honey. It just kind of has a vague sweetness to it. That's what it is. It's a sugar with a vague citrus surrounding it.
My uncle's lemon tree, like the actual lemon peels, smell like a sweeter lemon zest. But sometimes the ones that you get at the store are much more of that sour kind of pokey lemon. So I think it's more that sweeter one, whichever one that one's called.
Here's an interesting question. Is this an aquatic? Does the ambergris give it enough of that out-to-sea feel?
Right, if we're not looking for a marine note.
Exactly.
Let's see.
But it does kind of have that aldehyde-ishness of like marine botanicals or something in there. You know what I mean?
Okay, so I get like the deepest, lowest point of the sea that you could get to. Like the cold shadows that I'm picking up, maybe it's more that, the depths of the ocean.
Right. And I thought it only fitting that I get out my dark nebula bowl from KUN to build this intergalactic lather. And y'all, this is what it looks like when you bring your bougie stick in and grab a little Barrister and Mann soap. Look at that. A beautiful, slightly hard consistency to this soap. But y'all tells me work is going to be done when we lather.
This was the omnibus shaving
Right.
soap. You hook up the dog.
I don't know how better to say this. But sometimes y'all scent notes disappear into each other and they make a new personality. And if you get it just right, that new personality is better than the two that are coming together to make it. Will has a way of knowing exactly what two scent notes to put together. And generally, those two scent notes have never even met before. And when you do, the personality that comes out is not only so new, so different, but so intriguing that with half of my B&M collection, my nose is still just diving into mystery every time I smell it, like going to a magic show.
I feel like if you take all the main characters of the movie, you could almost take a scent from each of them that would fit in this list as well.
But I was thinking, because you've got the tea,
Right.
you've got the ambergris for the whale, you've got the lemon sugar for the poets.
I was thinking more for the Zooey Deschanel character, but that's just me.
Right, of course. This is my sea glass brush from Mr. Paul Trotter. I absolutely adore this thing. And Craig at Opus Brush, who just accepted my friend request on Facebook, tells us we are not allowed to soak these brushes. I know, but you can send your comments to Craig at Opus Brush.
I do like your choice of the purple handle for the petunia font.
I know. Did you like that? And I'm just going to go one way. I'm going to go the other way, clockwise, counterclockwise, load as much of that soap onto the bristles as I can. I'm basically approximating a tub load with my bowl, and then I'm going to turn the brush, give those bristles a new orientation. Look at that. A bunch more soap starts disappearing. You don't realize how those bristles on the outside of the brush are not getting contact with the soap until you spin the brush. Look at that. Almost all of it is now gone from the middle of those octopus arms, and they are loaded in to this beautiful Paul Trotter badger brush. And then now, I'm going to grab the water. Look at how that water just gets sopped up onto those bristles. And then, y'all, here we go. Head shavers, you might like this bowl because it's extra big.
Or us ladies, we got some whole legs we got to lather up too.
And then, if you still see a little bit of soap being held by those loving arms, that's how you know you might want to bring a little more water into the equation.
We were noticing, scrolling along Instagram land here, that a lot are having some sales for Memorial Day weekend. So, if you have some time, go check out and put some thumbnails in of which ones we should add to our collection.
Right. Y'all, look at that beautiful picture. Perfect textbook lather coming out of this. All right, this is something you will only find here in the Barbershop Duet. This is the 9.8 meters per second squared on a sperm whale width. On 3, 1, 2. Oh, whoa!
Yeah?
William, hold on. No. That can go away now. This has got at least 50% more stuff coming out in the lather. It is amazing. With some scent notes, what happens when you add water? It's like they needed the water. What do you get?
Okay, so now if you were to ask me if that had a marine note in it, I want to say yes. I'm not sure how, but yes.
I'm getting sand of the beach in this now, under the sperm whale.
The lemon is almost adding to that aquatic-y kind of blue. You know, sometimes aquatics have more of the orange blossoms or something. The lemon sugar with the petunia, add in the ambergris, and there is a whiff of little ocean fun in there.
The same way that Douglas Adams can combine words we already know to create brand new universes of adventure, Will is doing that with scent notes. Y'all, I can't overstate this enough on the new things that are coming out where these 4 scent notes are combining. There literally are galaxies coming out of this.
So if you see this label and you don't know what the heck it involves, it doesn't matter. The scent notes listed on here have been created from a very cool place, and they are coming together to make a wonderful springtime marine note kind of whiff that is a complete adventure.
And we need to see if we can solve some of this mystery. Why don't we take this down a little bit deeper?
I do not smell any mice poop, so I think you're good.
Oh, yeah, very little. The mice were like the little angel things from the beginning. When he squashed the mice, they were the original ones asking the question of that big robot thing about what this number was about.
And number 42 was
42
like
is the answer.
But we don't know.
It's not, but it is. If there's anything proverbial in Hitchhiker's Guide, it may be that it's not really the answer that you're looking for. It's the question. What question are you looking for?
I don't know.
No,
I did like the part at the beginning, though, where his house has to be removed because the bypass is coming. But then that's also the reason that Earth disappears, is because apparently, you have bypasses in hyperspace.
That's where we will turn things over to Sean at McDuff's. He and I are the ones that discuss Star Trek.
Yes.
I love that you can smell Will's imagination in this soap. And as someone who has had Will as their dungeon master playing Dungeons and Dragons, he does all the voices. He writes these amazing stories. It does not surprise me that the cleverness of Will's imagination comes through even in his sense.
I feel like that is the part of reading a book or even listening on an Audible or something. Like your brain really has to fill in the blanks of what that environment looks like or how those people are. So it's very cool to have a scent to go along with the story now.
And I know we never discuss lather here in the Barbershop Duet, but y'all, would you look at this on this badger brush? And if you have never seen a B&M lather coat, cover the face. Y'all, it is just one of the safest feelings in the world. If you're about to drag a hot knife across your moneymaker, nothing will make you feel more confident.
There is such a padded slickness here.
Right.
I have to say, I feel like this isn't a masculine or feminine scent. It's taking you to a place. So I feel like it's a much more all-inclusive because that's the intention behind the scent in the first place.
And you know, here's what I love best. If you were to see these 4 scent notes as colors, like red, orange, yellow, green, they are so beautifully blended that you're not able to actually focus on any one of those individual colors because you are looking at an ombre rainbow going through. Your nose is not able to stop and pause on any one of these scent notes until the other 2 gently come in and give it a hug on either side. That's where the amazing balance is coming through on this. It is absolutely not linear. It dances.
I feel like each whiff I take, too, something else invites me in further.
Right.
Like, I'm getting more of the ambergris on this whiff. Nope, I'm getting more of that lemon side. Wait, I think that's the petunia. No, there's the tea. Like, it has movement.
Right. And I love that the farther we get into this hobby, the more and more deeply we are able to appreciate everything Will and his mom are doing over there. So it's pretty simple, y'all. Just be a sperm whale who has respawned, 18,000 feet above the surface of your new planet. And as you approach your new friend, the round ground, you're going to start to already name some cool stuff. Stomachs, wind,
Tail.
But just about the time you do get to shake hands with your new friend, you are going to get your own. So head over to barristerandmann.com to find this and a bunch of other cool stuff. Well, I have had my shave, y'all, with 42, and Sarah and I realized that we had not mentioned something rather crucial during this episode. The Barrister and Mann mystique. That beautiful, slightly dank funkiness that exists under the surface of many of the B&M soaps and help give them their cohesion is not present in 42. It must be an earthbound scent. And y'all, as far as this base goes, one of the absolute best, most comforting, safest lathers in the business, and one of my new favorite scents. Thank you, Will and Paula, for this. Welcome to Messages.
So for our May giveaway, we wanted to give you a chance to get $20 to Phoenix Artisan Accoutrement.
Yeah, y'all, and all you have to do to be eligible for this giveaway is send us an email here to WeSentYou at thebarbershopduet.com so we can get back to you. It's the only way we communicate about our giveaways. And then check back here on our first June episode to see if you are our lucky winner.
Best of luck. I do want to mention that Will is also selling a little towel that says, "The mice will see you now," and we get it. We know what that is now.
And what a delight to hear Alan Rickman as the voice of the little robot guy. I like that little robot guy.
Each one of those actors are so in character that you believe them right away.
Right.
But how they all interact with each other is a journey within itself. And then throw them on different planets and in different planes of time and everything. It's just a fun adventure to see how they coexist.
I understood about nothing out of that movie, but I had a great time watching it. Hey, Will, Paula, thank you for knowing what stories we might have missed growing up and which ones we need to revisit. Seussical, Dune, You Kidding, Hitchhiker's Guide, we are here for it, and whatever your next adventure holds.
Happy towel to everyone. Don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell better just watching this.